midweek, and we are talking about something so important. I think in our times, it's important for us to always go back to what is sunnah, and we often get lost along the way. We forget what are the sunnah sports, what are the sunnah practices, what we should be doing. But remember, how can you really say you love somebody if you don't follow and want to do whatever they have done? So today we're talking about a sunnah sport, subhanallah, that is archery. How many of you understand about archery? How many of you think about doing it, even try to practice upon it, or maybe send your children for archery lessons? So today we want to understand the deep wisdom, subhanallah, behind archery. Also, why is it a sunnah sport? And also to bring in that passion and inshallah make us want to do that. So join us on Facebook. We are live right now. Archery, remember, it is an ancient skill of precision, patience, and focus. And again, it holds a very important space in our beautiful deen. It's not just a sport. Is one of the practices that is encouraged by beloved Master Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, just to reinforce that. And it links physical activity with spiritual and mental discipline. To shed more light on this topic, we welcome Brother Zaid Kaji from the Archery Academy in order to help us to understand more about this. So we welcome him to the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar as well as to our screens on Facebook and YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Zaid, and welcome to Urban Women this morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to you and your listeners.
Alhamdulillah. I think archery is such a beautiful sport, and it's not much out there, like how we sing paddle and all of these other kind of sports. And I think anything that is sunnah, we should really be putting the spotlight on it, like hijama, which I do, and things like that, because there's so much of wisdom. I firmly believe that whatever is sunnah, it is so deep, there's wisdom. But before we dive into it, can you just share with us how archery became part of your life?
Okay, my son wanted to do archery in 2008 and he needed company, so I joined him, learned the basics of archery at Kings Park Archery Club and enjoyed it. I started shooting for a while, and in 2009, the Olympic coach was practicing coaching with it, and he saw me shooting. He asked me whether I want to shoot tournaments. I told him basically I was too old, but he said that there's no age limit on archery. Uh, in 2009, I started shooting. We got two categories: a standard bow, it's a shorter distance, and we got an Olympic distance. So 2009, I shot the standard bow for a year, and then 2010, I started Olympic distance. 2011, I was ranked number 3 in South Africa, and Shukr Hamza, Allah's help, I've moved internationally. We've shot in 2023, and I'm ranked at number 3 in world Indo. We've got students
Wow.
from the academy that are ranked 1, 2, and 3 at world. We shot in UK in Kent.
Wow, mashallah, that's really great. So that's how your journey began. Imagine you thought age, and I think many people also think age, but remember, you're never too old to do anything. So just bring in the sunnah part of it and allow yourself to explore. Now, we know that archery is often referred to as a sunnah sport, subhanallah, but what exactly makes archery so significant in our beautiful deen?
Rasul has stated that 3 sports are very important, and it's a sunnah: horse riding, swimming, and archery. And basically, I found out that both those 3 sports are survival sports. Basically, you survive in any way with those 3 sports. Archery, I found basically it's a very good for physical and mental strength. It gets you to be focused and mentally focused when you're shooting, and keeps away the distractions. So you are focused throughout your shot. And physically, I've got students that come there who cannot pull a 20-pound bow, that's a low poundage bow. In a few months' time, with ease, they're putting 25, 26, 28 pounds. That's basically giving them physical strength and upper and lower body. You think that we're not using your lower body, but the strength, because your stability comes from your feet. So Sunnah has basically ingrained physical and mental strength.
Subhanallah, absolutely wonderful. Now, our beloved Master Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also encouraged his companions to learn archery as well. So, what wisdom do you think lies behind this also?
Rasul basically put archery very important because remember at that time, archery was one of the main forms of warfare. The archers at Uhud were there. They basically were front line. So they taught them archery. They gave them strength, physical strength, and mental strength. So it's a very good sport to encourage your youth and youngsters to learn it, because it gives them that mental fortitude that you need.
Subhanallah. And do you find that many Muslims today are aware of the spiritual value behind Ashi, or do you find that this connection is often overlooked?
I find it's very fair that most of our Muslims do not practice archery. They've left it aside, and now basically we've been trying to get our youth and adults to get into archery. The spiritual aspect is very important because it basically gets you to focus. And I spoke to one of the ulama. He told me, when you shooting, he came and did a course. When you're shooting, you focus. Every distraction is gone from your mind. You focus on one spot, and you all sounds, everything is eliminated. When you go to salah, the same principle is there. You focus. Your distractions are taken away from you. So basically, mentally, physically, you are in tune.
Absolutely. I mean, people who have never tried it, I want you right now to just visualize what is Brother Zaid trying to say and why is it such a beautiful sunnah. And it all comes from the mind. And I think that this teaches us so beautifully as you've just tied it up with salah, because that's where our mind just wanders off. And then we're often wondering, what rak'ah am I in right now? Is it the second? Is it the third? What am I in? So the mind is so powerful. And I think it just brings it that discipline. I was chatting with one of my fellow colleagues, Buddy Governor, and he was actually telling me that the Japanese also do it. And it's again all about focus. He was just telling me how closely they do it. So I think many people know that, but we understand if we practice it, it is a beautiful sunnah. So we're also getting the reward for that. So could you explain how archery actually supports the mental well-being as well? Because today we find that many people are suffering with mental health. And sometimes it's often overlooked, and we want to try and sort things out on a physical level and on a physical scale. And if we have a physical ache or chronic ache, but we're not going deeper where it all begins in the mental side. So, can you explain that, please?
Yeah, we find this, especially in youth, when they're shooting tournaments. They need to focus, and during a tournament, they get distracted. We get them to start focusing. Focus on what's your goal, attain that goal, and work on that. So mentally, you are getting them to mentally be strong. And any distractions, your score, you shoot one bad arrow, forget about it. Work on the next and build your strength from strength to strength. You're moving. So now you are leaving all the bad. You are only bringing strength, 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 and then you find that your scores increase. So that's why mentally you become very, very strong. You focus on what you need to do. You got a goal, you attain that goal. That's what we do.
And I suppose that makes so much of sense because it's teaching you come back in line, just focus on one thing at a time. And if we want success in life, as an NLP life coach, all around neuro linguistic programming, it's about reprogramming the neural pathways. And the more you do something, nerve cells that wire together, fire together. So the more you do something, the more those neural pathways are. So I suppose the more you do it, the more you practice, you're training your brain, which then will have a spillover effect. And I think that's the beauty of it being the sunnah sport, is that the spillover effect will come through in every other avenue and aspect of your life, is that you'll be more disciplined then to focus because now the neural pathways are happening there. And I think when you hit the target, it probably is like a manifestation of that observation of your focus now being spot on. We know that archery isn't just about hitting the target, as I said. It also has those physical benefits. You touched on some of that. Maybe you want to walk us through or talk us through some of those also.
Okay, the youngsters, when they come there to a range, we give them a low poundage bow. That means how much power they're pulling on a bow. It's for 14 pounds, 16 pounds. It's not the weight of your bow. It's basically how much strength that you are drawing that bow with. Initially, they cannot draw the string right to their face where they need to anchor. And give them 2 or 3 lessons, and you find the strength is there. We basically using muscles at the back. So you're building shoulder muscles, and it improves one's strength, physical strength, because our youngsters now are not doing much physical activities. They're more on
True.
the electronic gadgets, and we're trying to get them back to some physical outdoor or indoor activities where you are building strength. You are getting to learn how your body functions, your muscles function, and you'll find they grow and they from strength to strength.
SubhanAllah. Very, very amazing. And that, again, as you're saying it, everything is coming through. And we talk about the challenges of our times, the challenges of our youth. And again, it's an affirmation that whatever is sunnah is basically a timeless remedy for a lot of things. Like during COVID time, I realized that the sunnah method of cupping was actually what we needed to do at the time. And again, it's timeless. It's sunnah. So it's timeless. It doesn't end at a certain point. So when you're talking about this, when we look at our youth right now, they're not very strong. They are just exercising these fingers and the thumb mainly. And let's talk about how we all are getting sucked into our social media, where it's all about basically our attention span has cut down. Where, let's face it, if it's longer than 30 seconds or 60 seconds, I myself and I can't watch it. Like, it's too long. We just want to scroll. We just want to get by. We just want to get done. And again, that is focus. And if we know that if we want to achieve anything in life, it takes discipline, it takes time, it takes dedication, perseverance, consistency, and that is not within 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So we can see the challenges. And again, as you've just explained, how the Sunnah method helps us to be grounded and to become deeper within ourselves in order to attain real success. Now, many families in today's time, I think they're trying to do things in order to bond meaningfully. We know that they are doing other sports, they're trying other things. How can archery actually be used to bring parents and children close together? We know, again, it is a sunnah. So I know that there has to also be some benefit with regards to the family bonding as well.
Archery basically has brought families together. We've got a association, it's called Sanifa, Indoor and Field Archery. Their motto is, you are a family, you shoot as a family. And you find fathers, mothers, daughters, sons all coming together, shooting, and they're spending time, because in this current age, nobody is spending time. You're away from your family, you don't know what your child is doing. Here, you bring them together, you spending time together, physically, you're enjoying the sport and good, and spending quality time with your children.
Of course, definitely. And then building so much, as you mentioned, it's the focus, it's the physical strength, it's the muscle function, it's the ability to bond, and of course, reigniting the beautiful aspect of a sunnah sport. It's been wonderful chatting with you, Brother Zaid. Thank you so much for informing us and bringing to light how wonderful the sport is. And a reminder as well, inshallah, we do want to bring back to life the sunnah methods of so many things. Next, inshallah, we'll probably speak more with someone else about horse riding, as you mentioned, the three sunnah sports: archery, horse riding, and swimming. Until then, jazakallah khair and have a lovely day. Any take home message for our wonderful listeners before we wrap up?
Jazakallah for the time, and hope more students and adults take up the sport of archery. It's a wonderful sport, and you'll enjoy it.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Brother Zaid Archery talking to us. Remember, archery is a sunnah sport. I just wanted to highlight, because I think many of the things that our deen encourages, we are not putting the spotlight on it. We are going for everything else. We will do everything else. And there's so many things that I can name right now, but I don't want to, because I really want to put the spotlight on what we should be doing as Muslims. And why not bring in that consciousness, bring in that awareness, encourage our children to do it, bring in that love for our beautiful deen, because our deen has a beautiful framework that we need to plug into, and that is there to guide us and there to support us. We don't need to figure things out. It's already there. It's done. It's done. All we got to do is learn about it, understand why, implement it, inshallah, and shine as Muslims. So I hope you found that beneficial, inshallah. Let's go for a break. We'll be back after. It's your Urban Woman Show with me, Razia Rangrage.